Well, it's that time of the year again. Days are getting colder, nights are getting longer, and there's another Predator movie out this year. Yeah, the second one in a year. Earlier, we had Predator Killer of Killers, which released only on Hulu, which I which I really enjoyed. I thought the animation was super unique in that movie, and just overall a really cool addition to the Predator universe. And then we got Predator Badlands, which I just saw yesterday. And this has been a movie that I've been super excited for. And like it meets my expectations. There are some things I'm a bit disappointed in, but like overall it's a super awesome, sick movie. It's just a bunch of like cool sci-fi predator action on this alien planet where everything is meant and designed to kill you, and it's super cool. It's very fun. It's a very fun movie. It's got kind of the same vibe as like a video game movie or like video game logic movie. It's a bunch of boss fights, like going from one to the other to the other. It's a boss rush, and the I think the movie does that very well. What I really like is that the past few Predator movies have been wildly different from each other. And like take to consider all of the Predator movies, you like all the mainline ones. You have the original, and then you have the second one, which is very similar to the first one, but it's in a very different place. And then you have Predators, which is its own thing. It's different from the first two, but it's kind of its own. It's got its own flavor to it. The Predator I haven't seen. I heard that one wasn't very good, but I also watched Predator 2 and that wasn't very good, but I digress. But then you have Prey, which yeah, it kind of does the same thing as the original one, but also very different scenario and circumstances. And then you have Killer of Killers, which is completely different, being an animated anthology series. And then you have Badlands, which is this nuts to butts sci-fi action movie where a predator is the main character. And I really like how the Predator movies have done that. Comparing it to Alien, which Badlands is confirms that these two are in the same universe because there are androids and ships that are from the Weyland Foundation, which is from Alien. So these two franchises are not just connected through the schlocky Alien versus Predator movies. They are confirmed to be in the same universe. But regardless, like with the Alien movies, they all kind of have their own specific flavor. Like you're either like all of them are doing the same thing as Alien did. Aliens goes more action, nuts to butts, not as much as Predator Badlands, but all the other Alien movies, Alien 3, Resurrection, um, Prometheus, Covenant, Romulus that just came out, and kind of also Earth, but Earth kind of expands on it a bit more. They're all kind of doing the same thing as the first Alien movie. So I appreciate that with Predator. Not that doing the same thing as one movie is bad. I don't think that's repetitive, but it's the same type of movie. But I appreciate that with Predator where they're a lot more different from each other. To catch you up to speed on what this movie is, you have a predator as the main character. Some articles have been extremely stupid and referred to it as a child predator. No, don't do that. That's bad. You need to go to bad person jail. Regardless, uh, Deck is his name, so I'm gonna refer to him as that instead of child predator. And so Deck, he it opens up with him training with his brother. And if you don't know, predators have this code of honor with being hunters. There's a lot of stuff about like culling the weak and like proving yourself to the other predators in your clan. So Quay is Deck's brother, and they're training. Quay is older than him and also stronger. It is shown that Deck is the weakest, and he's actually supposed to be one of the ones who are supposed to be cold. He does not have his cloak, the cloaking device that makes him invisible yet, and he's trying to earn that. So like after they train and Deck gets his butt handed to him, they return home, and Quay's like, all right, now it's time for you to choose your beast to hunt and bring the trophy back. That way you earn your cloak. They don't speak English, by the way. They speak their own language, which I do appreciate. It makes them not stupid looking. Regardless, so like he tells him that, and Deck's like, I'm gonna hunt that big thing, and Quay's like, oh, Killer 69, yeah. Father fears him. It's like this big beast on Death Planet, and Deck's like, nah, I'm gonna take him down anyway because I'm the best, in which he's not. Like father comes back, and he's like, Quay, you big dumb idiot, you didn't kill your brother yet? And Quay's like, no, he deserves his hunt. And like this is when we learn that apparently Deck is supposed to be cold, which if you don't know, he dies. So like Quay's about to kill his brother, but then he like says nuh-uh. He frees Deck, who had been like restrained by science mumbo jumbo, and like tosses him into the ship and has it like initiate launch into the planet where like the big kill monster is. So that he could go and kill that and basically prove himself. Since Quay defied the father, father then brutally kills him in front of Deck. And Deck's like, no! And then he shoots off, and he goes to Death Planet. And from there, movie takes place. He meets a android who's been severed from like the torso. So like he finds the upper half. And her name is Thea. She is annoying. She is the worst character ever. It would have been infinitely better if she was just more serious or just not as annoying. And like that was the one thing that when my friends and I, when we left the theater, we were all like, man, Thea sucked. And I said I liked her legs better because they get her legs up and running. Now maybe that's because I'm a leg guy, but I thought the legs had a better personality than her, mainly because they didn't talk. But regardless, he meets Thea, and they team up to go and find the big kill creature, but other androids that were a part of Thea's like group, they are also trying to track them down to find the big kill monster, Callus. That's what it's called. So, and it all leads to like a bunch of boss fights on the way, and it's just a blast, really. Really, like the only true problem that I have with this movie is that Thea's just annoying, and they they try and focus on her with some things. Like anything Thea related kind of fell flat for me. They try and do a kind of a dark backstory with her, not necessarily backstory because it only happened like 13 days ago, and it's one of those where she's telling the story, but like it doesn't even show it at all, so it doesn't have that impact. They do kind of show it later, but in more of a cryptic way, so it's more mysterious, but that's afterwards. So it doesn't feel connected to her story, really. But regardless, the movie, like it has a much more lighter tone than you would expect it to. There's like they meet this little alien critter, Bud or Butt. They call it by one of those things only like a couple times, but the little creature. There's like a scene where they're like setting up camp, and Dex like stretching or whatever, and the little creature's like mimicking him, and it's like, ah, look at this cute little guy, and Dex like, I'm a predator, I'm brooding and whatever. So like it's that kind of tone. I don't know if I already said this, but very similar to like a Godzilla versus King Kong type tone with that action, alien planet, and just like it's not super serious. It's kind of cheesy. Um, and I think that tone makes sense with it being PG-13. Now some of you might be going, "Whoa, PG-13 in a Predator movie? This is an outrage. I need to see titties flapping in the wind, F bombs being said every single time. A dude like standing up butt naked and shouting slurs while he like rips a baby in half." Oh, calm down, sir. The movie still has gratuitous violence, but it gets away with the PG-13 rating because there are no humans in the movie. The only things that are in this movie are synths, like robots, and aliens. So there's not a single drop of red blood. It's all that like white blood for that they use for the robots, or it's like green, blue blood for the aliens. So you still get horrific violence in this movie, but it's still able to be a PG-13 movie, and I think that's okay. I don't think you need all those other things that you definitely said, sir. Ripping a baby in half. My gosh, you make me sick. Go to bad person's jail. Regardless, I think this movie is very good. It definitely has flaws to it. It is more on the dumb action movie side, but I really like those things. And I think the movie's very enjoyable. So I'd say 4 out of 5 is very fair. If you if you don't like the kind of lighter tone, not that serious, I would definitely suggest checking out Killer of Killers if you haven't already. That like I think those movies are very close, but for very different reasons. They're doing very different things. But like Killer of Killers is definitely more on the more mature side because there's no robots in there getting destroyed. It's humans. So yeah, there you go. That's about it. Bye bye.